imagine the pile of debris and remains from the city has started to build up in the ocean below the city. Maybe one day it will breach the surface like a conglomerate garbage island.
Hey. Been looking for you. Let's talk. Hey. I'm glad I finally caught up with you. I'm from the Trackers Alliance, and we have a proposal for you. No. Well, at least not as far as we're concerned for the moment. Good. Because what I'm about to tell you could change the course of your life. The Trackers Alliance has been following your exploits and believe you have what it takes to join our ranks. You're being invited to our new headquarters in Aquila City. There you'll meet with Agent Number 1. If you decide to consider our offer, they'll guide you through our initiation process. I'd expect you do. Well, there's a reason for that. It used to be on a remote planet in a remote part of the galaxy. Agent Number 1 decided that it would be better if we had more of a public presence. So we purchased the old McCall estate and turned it into our headquarters. There will be time for introductions later, assuming you decide to join us. But until then, there's really no need for me to share that information with you. If you have any inclination of being a bounty hunter, then this is the best deal you're going to get. I'm not here to convince you. I've just been instructed to deliver the message. Your questions will be best answered by Agent Number 1 at the HQ. Okay, then. Wonderful. I appreciate you hearing me out. I'll be heading out soon if there's nothing more. Remember, Trackers Alliance HQ in Aquila City. Speak to Agent Number 1.
I have something for you. Ship's good. Let's go.
We're locking into orbit now.
Jump 6. Just like Starfield.
Welcome to the Freestar Collective. Please maintain your current course while we scan your ship. And that's it. Enjoy that Aquila City air.
Hey, you might want this. Oh, good. Story time. Love it. Oh, right. I nearly forgot. Here you go.
Nobody's allowed outside the city walls after nightfall. It's for their own safety. Hey, your ship that landed not too long ago? Sure is something.
Kind of weird reaching out to them instead of the other way around, isn't it? Pretty convinced.
Roach?
I know, I trust you, but... record streak. I'm only one away. Again.
Roach!
Know what happened the last time I was paired up? I don't want it.
Roach!
This new one to... What?
Our new potential recruit. He's
Standing right here. Yeah, I said I know. I'm aware of his presence, have been since he walked in the door. I said what I said. I stand by it. And rookie, don't you dare let me down. You got a lot to prove around here.
Leave no quarter. Show no mercy. You're prompt. Good trait for a tracker. Anyhow, we can talk about punctuality or we can get down to business. I am Agent Number 1, or No One, if you prefer. Seems you've decided to entertain our offer. Good. A drop of enthusiasm can create an ocean of success. Remember that. However, it is not as simple as accepting and taking an oath. You must be tested in the field and face a true challenge before taking up the mantle of tracker. Do you have any questions before we proceed? Why not you? I know of your accomplishments. Your bravery on Vectera, fighting off the Crimson Fleet, made the news. You aided our Trackers Alliance efforts in Sidonia, bringing to justice an elusive target. In Aquila City, you thwarted a dangerous hostage situation without violence. Without hesitation, you saved lives in New Atlantis when one of the most deadly predators in the universe attacked. And I know about the Mantis. Do not be alarmed. That is a secret I respect and will take to the grave. I could say more, but trust that you would not be here if I did not believe you worthy. The mission boards are merely a tool we use to expand our reach to freelancers who either do not have the capabilities or the desire to work with the Trackers Alliance in a more official capacity. To put it simply, those bounties are trifles compared to what official trackers deal with. They're lower risk, lower reward. Excellent. Before we accept you as an official tracker, you'll need to demonstrate competency in the field. To that end, I would like you to first accept the available bounty on the wanted display on the nearby wall, then report back to me.
Well, if it isn't the rookie.
There are always more bounties to collect. Good. You have your mission. Once you are a tracker, you may not get a briefing like this for your missions. You'll be expected to handle them by yourself. Trackers Alliance facilitates bounty hunting. We don't hold hands. For all intents and purposes, you are an independent entity affiliated with the Trackers Alliance. You may utilize our resources, including our database if need be, but you cannot expect someone to be with you every step of the way. That is not how we operate. Excellent. I knew you could. The target for this mission is admittedly one of our toughest. Not because of how dangerous he is, but because of how often he has evaded us in the past. His name is Hannibal Eutropio. He's wanted for 94 counts of spaceship grand theft. We have reason to believe he runs a chop shop somewhere out in the fringes, but we do not know where. Luckily, we have intel that one of his associates, Adrastos Dakota, is currently here in Aquila City. For your first mission, you were assigned a partner, Roach. He will have more information. Speak with him. Hannibal's crew steals spaceships and brings them someplace where they can illegally strip them for parts, or make the ships completely untraceable. Then he modifies them and resells them, or their parts, for a tidy profit. Hence the name Chop Shop. Roach is one of our best trackers. You would do well to learn from his techniques. I wish you the best of luck. Leave no quarter. Show no mercy.
Look what the Astra dragged in. Hey, so, about earlier, when you first arrived, Right, you're not. Because when we're working together, you're going to follow my instructions so you can learn from a real professional. I was doing great until I volunteered to partner up with a rookie like you. They ran in, guns blazing, got shot up, and we had to evac. Which let our mark get away. Couldn't save him either, so waste all around. But now, I'm being voluntold that I need to partner up with you, for reasons I don't want to get into right now. So, best not disappoint me. The record for consecutive successful bounty missions is held by a tracker who went by the call sign Volk. 372 consecutive bounties brought in. That's 372 with no escapes, no mistakes. Came close to beating this record, but, well, didn't. Guy was a legend around here, but don't bring him up. It's a bit of a sore spot for a lot of trackers. You ever work with someone who was really good at their job, but just seem to rub everyone the wrong way? The boss won't do anything about it because they're afraid of losing that person. It was like that with Volk and the previous Agent No One. Except Volk was just needlessly cruel to his quarries. And everyone. Even his allies. I mean, like, torturing children to draw out their parents kind of cruel. He was a bad dude. He killed the previous No One. I don't want to talk about it anymore. And neither should you. Good. Glad we had this talk. Now let's get down to business. This Adrastos guy is our ticket to finding Hannibal. We find him, bring him in, and get the information out of him. Any questions? Great. Adrastos was last sighted in town, so we're going to go out there and you'll use your scanner to find him. Once we do, we'll convince him to chat with us. By force, if need be. If you don't have any more questions, let's hit the road. Funny you ask. Until recently, no one even knew what he looked like. Despite his many crimes, he's managed to keep an exceptionally low profile. As you can imagine, it's hard to find someone when you don't know their face and can't find their base of operations. This is compounded by the fact that he never leaves a trace, and we never know when or where he'll strike next. The fact that we got info linking Adrastos to him is a damn miracle. I think we were given a bum deal. Hannibal has been on the wanted list for ages, and no tracker's been able to nab him despite many trying. But maybe Agent No One's expectations are low, and they just want to see how you handle a tough but low-stakes situation. For that, I guess it's perfect. I just wish they weren't intent on dragging my record down with it. Easy. I assume you've used your scanner to find resources? Well, it's like that. Except you'll be scanning people for active bounties. I'll even make it easy for you this time and let you know when I see him. But when you're on your own, no one will be there to hold your hand. Normally, you'd either kill your target or disable and arrest him. At that point, you'd put a tracking beacon on him and someone would be called in to take him away. But we're bringing this guy with us for this mission. I'd wish you luck, but we both know it's more about skill. Okay, Adrastos is likely wandering the streets around here somewhere. Open up your scanner and look for anyone with a bounty. We may need to check other areas of the city, but he's bound to be here.
If you're looking for a sidearm, I recommend Laredo's Firearm Factory. Right here.
Hello.
It's tough living here.
You can do it on your own.
We head through those gates, the Ashta will start hunting us down pretty fast, so beware.
There. That's okay.
You know, I appreciate data collection. It's safe, it's smart, it's valuable.
Now, approach and interrogate. Now that you've been talking.
Hey, can I help you? You know, he would be pretty pissed. If I'm picking up what you're laying down, you could probably make some of those charges go away if I cooperate, huh? Probably could. I'm just not sure that would work for me, you know? Okay, fine. I'll tell you what you want to know. What exactly do you want to know? Something about Hannibal, right?
You need to tell us where he is. Then, as long as the intel's good, we can consider letting you off easy. Got it?
Because I'm sure Mr. Tall, Dark, and Menacing over here will make sure the rest of my existence is both painful and humiliating? Got it. Cooperator go missing. Crystal. Truth is, Hannibal could be anywhere. I don't know how to tell you where he is.
I don't believe you. You better start spilling more.
But I know where to find his chop shop. Look, I'm not dumb enough to lie to trackers. I know what's at stake. It's an old abandoned star yard in the Andromos system. Andromos 4A to be exact. Surrounded by a field of giant space rocks. Can't miss it. Actually, you can. That's kind of the point.
Great. You're coming with us then. You run, you die. You cause a commotion, you die. You so much as sneeze without asking.
I die. I think I get it. Well, what are we waiting for? To the chop shop.
Right. Hey, rookie, a word? So normally, you register Drastos with the system and leave them bound for someone to come pick them up. But we need them to tag along with us. Now, if we show up in my ship, we'll lose the element of surprise. I'd rather keep our cards close to our chest. Gives Hannibal less chance to escape. Not really. Seemed a little too easy, but what other choice? Worst case, we shoot a bunch of baddies and we still have a Drastos. Yeah, I've got one all right. See, the last guy I took in wound up dead and unknowingly donated his ship. It's a nice ride. The parts are valuable. We'll use that. Drastos here is gonna help us on the comms as we approach.
Oh, I am?
Or he'll find himself in deep space without a suit. He's going to play it as if he jacked a ship and brought it to be chopped up. And he's going to do it without giving it away that we're on board because he knows what'll happen if he does.
As I was saying, I'm going to do just that.
He'll stay behind on the ship. Not much trouble he can get into with his hands tied, and there isn't exactly anywhere he can go. Great. Let's get to it then. The ship's parked at the spaceport. You'll be the one in the pilot's seat, so I can keep an eye on our good buddy Adrastos. Let's wrap this one up nice and quick.
Like we got another pump.
the hope. He's our only lead at the moment. Now, if the question is, do I trust him? That's a different story. But again, we do what we can with the information we have.
This is not how I thought my day would go, but it could be worse. Am I right?
Picked up something you might be interested in.
Orbit locked. Oh, you just look at that view. Tip-offs, nothing that seems like coded messaging, because Adrastos here knows what happens to an unprotected body in space.
Yeah, I've heard. All right, shall we? Hey, it's me, Adrastos. Am I coming in?
Loud and clear, Mr. Dakota.
Perfect. Look, I just lifted this sweet ride from some poor sap in Aquila. I need to bring it into the shop. You got room?
She's a beaut, all right. We'll get those numbers filed off, and then we'll decide if we want to keep her as is or strip her for parts. Bay 1 is almost free. You're clear to dock with it. See you on the inside.
See? Look at that. Smooth and easy as Chunk's pie.
We'll see. Make sure you're suited up and ready for anything, rookie. Easy part's over. Expect resistance once we get inside. Something tells me they're not going to take kindly to us.
Probably not. Hey, what about me?
What about you? You're staying right here on board. We're locking the door behind us so no one can get in or out. You know, just in case you were hoping for your friends to help you. Me and my partner will go in and grab Hannibal.
We'll be back before you know
Sounds like you got it all figured out. I'd say good luck, but that doesn't exactly work in my favor, so... I don't know. Don't have too much fun without me? Yeah, sure. We'll go with that.
Air pressure, seals, ship integrity, all good. Docking is complete. Good work, Captain.
Let's get a move on. We won't have much time before they figure out something's not right.
Okay, rookie. Remember, they shoot at us, that's on them. They chose their fate. It's open season on assholes. It's my preference to take Hannibal in alive. He's more valuable that way. But if it comes down to it, we'll do what we've got to do. Let's go get him. Just keep your eyes and ears open. I'll try to give you some instructions to help you out, but ultimately, this is your mission. I'm following you. If they shoot at you, return fire. I'll back you up. Thought I saw another way in from below. Get down there. Might be worth checking out anyway. We're stranded. times. Have fun! Oh, I love this part! it up if you want.
Shoot! I give up! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Hold up! You got the wrong guy! I'm not Hannibal, I swear! I just work for him! Okay. It's like this, see? Hannibal rarely goes out. But when he does, he goes under an assumed identity and leaves me in charge. Sometimes it's Adrastos, sometimes it's Chase, Jackie, Scotty, whatever. He's got 100 of them. It's one of the reasons he never gets caught. I'm just Deke. Deke Hansen.
I don't want to believe him, but it makes sense.
Izzy, you might want to go to the window and take a look, cause it looked like he was pretty free and uncuffed last I saw him.
Son of a... I'll keep an eye on Deke. Go look and see if he's telling the truth.
Hello, trackers. By now you've probably found my associate Deke and learned that he is not in fact me, and that I am not who I said I was. Darn it, I know, right? Anyway, if you look out the window, you can see I'm taking your beautiful ship. Thanks, by the way. But don't worry, I won't leave you stranded. I'm not that bad a guy. You'll find a container nearby with a key to an old junker that should hold up long enough to get you home. I've left you some other goodies too, just so there's no hard feelings. It should unlock now. As for me, I think I'm out of the stolen ship business after this, so I won't trouble you anymore. So long, and thanks for playing.
Almost makes it hard to hate him. Almost. Well, we gotta get back to HQ. Let's see what he's left us and hope he's not luring us into a death trap.
Can I come with you? I couldn't. I didn't have the key. And apparently Hannibal decided to give it to you instead of me, which I'm still struggling to understand. Oh, thank you.
No, nuh-uh, not happening. You're a mechanic. You've got ships. Figure it out. We're leaving. End of discussion. Can we just not talk about this right now?
He wasn't kidding. This thing looks like it can barely fly. Still, that Hannibal is something else. Could have marooned us and left us to starve. At least we can get home. The quicker we put this mission behind us, the better.
systems are back online.
Yes! Feel that tingling? Shields are back. Engines are back at your disposal, Captain.
Alright, you're good. Welcome to Aquila City.
I respect people who want to make this place work in spite of the odds. They could go to an easy world and tend flowers all day, but the struggle to exist fuels them here.
I don't want to hear it.
Tough living here, but live on your own terms.
Welcome back, recruit. I assume your return means you have successfully completed your mission. But where is Hannibal?
I'll let you say it, rookie.
Understood. In your evaluation, Roach, was it a flaw in the plan or the execution?
Neither. It was a failure of intel. We could only act on the information we had, and since the intel was bad, everything else went sideways. I'll fill you in later, but I suspect that was also somehow Hannibal's doing.
More importantly, Roach, how do you evaluate your partner's performance?
Even if we didn't catch our target, Rookie here did a good job. I stood back and advised. Rookie did most of the work. They'd make a good tracker.
I trust your endorsement, Roach. With that, your assessment is complete. Roach believes you did well. Welcome to the Trackers Alliance. Other bounties on the display will now be available to you, as will the downstairs lounge. There, you will find the Elite Bounty Board, with tougher missions, as well as other amenities and resources. Lastly, you will choose a call sign. This is how other trackers will know you within the Alliance. It will obfuscate your identity and keep you safe. Please, speak your mind. It is affirmed. Henceforth, you shall be known among trackers as Raven.
Look what the Astra dragged in. Well, if it isn't the rookie. We've been through the ringer together. Why not? Okay, fine. Been bounty hunting for a while. Before that, I was a line cook at a shitty little restaurant in Neon, of all things. Got no family, no close friends. In other words, no liabilities getting in the way of being the best tracker in the history of the Alliance. That's me in a nutshell. So you want to learn from the best? Well, let me tell you. All that matters in this line of work is that you get the job done. Sometimes that means skirting the law. It's usually on our side anyway. Alive or dead means you've got a choice. Don't get too hung up on it. Always go with whatever guarantees success. No sense bringing morality into it. These people are wanted criminals on the run from justice. Last thing, competition is a strong motivator. That's how I got where I am today.
Yum, you tracked blood in all over my damn floor again earlier.
Well, you weren't that bad of a partner. You kind of grew on me.
Could you not?
That and I need someone to compare bounty scores with. Was hoping you'd be game. All these other losers think it's beneath them or something.
For you, I will try to be more careful.
Great! I had a good feeling about you. You've got a lot of catching up to do if you want to even approach my numbers, but don't think I'll just stop and let you.
The Alliance is strong and getting stronger by the day. Welcome, Tracker. I am no one, by design. There has always been and always will be an Agent Number One to lead us. Upon assuming the mantle, one loses all traces of identity, including all of one's records and history, even gender and voice. You can imagine, many would seek to do harm to one in this position. To protect family and associates, our identity is more than confidential. It is eliminated from existence. Yes and no. When one attains this position, ties to family and other associates are cut off. That is the most difficult aspect. As far as anyone knows, my former self is dead. Records of my life are mysteriously lost. I assume that is difficult for those one leaves behind. However, I am fortunate that I did not have many family, associates, or records to lose. My name was no great loss, nor were other aspects of my identity. I never conformed to gender, for instance. For me, it was an easy decision. They call me Agent Number One, or Agent No One. Use they or them when speaking about me, as to further protect my identity. However, that had already been my preference. I will simply state that our partnership with the United Colonies and Freestar Collective comes with some powerful tools. As a rank-and-file tracker, it is not a requirement, but it is advised, for the safety of those you know. For a leader such as myself, it is an absolute necessity for the safety of the entire organization. Know that to attain my position of leadership, it was a combination of deeds, competency, professionalism, and above all, trust. Certainly. It's largely the same whether you're finding targets of opportunity with your scanner, taking on an elite tracker bounty mission, or going after a target of interest. After you've convinced your target to surrender, or subdued them through non-lethal force, you can register them with the system. Registering them lets either local law enforcement or a specialized tracker know to come transport them away. I can see why you would ask, but no. Criminals are punished by the justice system depending on their crimes. Some of those punishments can be harsh. Not everyone in the Alliance feels the same about the motto, as it's a bit of a holdover from older times. It's more of a tradition, and it serves as a reminder to never give up and pursue your targets to the end of the universe, so they can face justice one way or another. We have trackers who specialize in prisoner escort entertainment, rather than what we're asking you to do. They have the ships and equipment required to ensure successful handoff to the appropriate authority. Yes, I won't go into the particulars, but even if you are in the furthest reaches of space, someone will eventually be directed to pick up your target. With someone on their way, your target would not get far. They would be charged with additional felonies. It would only be worse for them. Our system works pretty well for us. After the Narian War, there were issues with extrajudicial vigilantism involving bounty hunting. The Trackers Alliance was formally established and sanctioned by the Freestar Collective and the United Colonies as a way to combat this growing problem. The governments of the settled systems hire us for our specialized skills and allow us to operate largely unhindered in exchange for holding us accountable. This mutual trust is rarely breached. An agent takes on a more administrative role, whereas trackers primarily work in the field. Often, when time and age catches up with the tracker, they become an agent, as their experience and wisdom is valued, and it can be difficult to re-assimilate into society. Both roles are equally crucial to our operation. May luck follow you.
You ever want to learn from the best? I'm your guy.
Oh, hey! I heard we were getting a new tracker. Nice to meet you. Call me Tank, 'cause there ain't no stopping me. I'm new around here too, but if you've ever seen me run the Red Mile, you know I'm not just blowing smoke. Anyway, hit me up if you want to swap pointers, or just shoot the shit, you know? Yeah, I've been doing it for a while. 19 successful runs last I checked the leaderboard. Anyway, keeps my skills sharp, which is even more important now that I'm a tracker. I know I don't look like much of a tracker or a runner, but I'm cool with people underestimating me. It makes it that much more special when I crush their expectations. Good. It's been good. Kind of easy compared to the Red Mile, maybe. I mean, people may be unpredictable, but they're easier to take down than the beasts on Porima 3. Heck, sometimes they give up willingly. And the other trackers seem to appreciate my work. Even the grumpy ones who think I'm too soft. But they shut up real quick when they see me in action. Probably because I'm too friendly. Almost everyone around here is either all business or standoffish. Maybe that's just what happens after you do this for a while. But nah, not me. Gotta take some time away from being a ruthless bounty hunter to be a real human being, you know? Otherwise, what's the point of it all? And it's the same with some of these targets. Some of them just messed up real bad and deserve another chance. You need to remember, they're people, and not just a picture with the fat cred stick attached.
I can confirm that too.
I have no...
I don't know. There's gotta be something, right? Like, how would you deal with a target that seems ready to blow your brains out, but you know he's not in his right mind? Like he's on Aurora or something.
I'll have a huge supply of it.
Yeah, we hear you. I just don't think...
Kind of. Yeah. No, it did. Almost exactly like that. It was my first mission, and I froze up. Luckily, I had a partner for the mission. He was creeping up behind the guy, tackled him and cuffed him before he could do anything. Obviously, I still think about it. Yo, that's smart. I like where your head's at. No sense dragging a corpse back if it didn't have to be that way. And plus, if you bring him in alive, he could face justice the right way. Leave no mercy, show... No, other way around. You get it.
I'm pleased you chose to join us. Call me inevitable. You're welcome. All I did was extend the invitation. You decided to follow through and brought yourself. I didn't choose to recruit you, but I did the research and tracked you down. Surprisingly, it was not easy. That, overzealous follower of yours, he tends to talk about you quite a bit. In fact, it was so much that it took me longer than expected to realize that it wasn't just a parasocial relationship, and he knew where you were at all times. I waited for him to start up the rumor mill and let it slip where you could be found. You should maybe have a talk with him. Let's just say it exposes a vulnerability in my armor. Perhaps my skills are not, what they once were. Not much. I've been doing this longer than any of the other trackers, even Agent Number 1. I pay little mind to the claim I was the best. I've no need to compare and no ego to feed. Not like Roach chasing some asinine record. My specialty is tracking our most elusive targets, which takes longer. Sometimes months or years. I do my job thoroughly, and that's all there is to it. That being said, I rarely go on the hunt these days. My experience is now far more valuable as an agent than a field tracker. Not quite. It is rare that a tracker lives long enough that they can choose to retire. Those who do are truly fortunate. Some of us decide to continue our service to the Alliance as agents and offer our services as guides and teachers. Our experience is valued. Does that worry you at all? Does it change your mind about wanting to be a tracker? Of course. Just understand that I'm the exception, not the rule. This is dangerous work, even by your standards. Yes, patience is your #1 virtue. That is something I did not understand fully when I was younger and less experienced. As a novice tracker, I was impetuous. One of my early quarries took advantage of this. He would wait for me to act rashly and falter, which gave him the upper hand he needed to escape. The cycle would repeat. He evaded me for years. It wasn't until I understood the value of patience that I caught up with him and finally claimed the bounty on his head. It's how I earned my call sign. It may take time, but I always get my mark. Until we speak again.
Hey, Raven. I brought in another couple bounties. Hope you're keeping up.
Welcome back, Raven.
You must harden yourself against doubt, or succumb to its woes. I have seen death. I have seen tragedy. I have seen more beg for their lives than I can count. But what I haven't seen is a fledgling tracker seemingly so willing and eager to speak with me so soon after joining. What knowledge do you hope to gain from our interaction? Very well, then. Ask, and listen well. I am Yama. I borrow this name from the god of the dead, who judges the souls I usher to him. There is not much I wish to divulge. Whatever you have heard about me is likely true. I do not bring back my targets alive. I aim for brutal efficiency. I do not work well with others. You must know, I do not feel the need to appease or delight anyone. I take jobs no one else wants, and I always get it done. That is my value. My stories are not for your amusement, but I will share one so that you may learn from my mistake. There was one time I decided to let a man live. He had a family, a wife, 3 children. He showed me a picture. They looked happy. He begged I let him live and spend the rest of his days incarcerated. So, at least he could see them occasionally and watch his children grow up from afar. He escaped from prison. He went home and murdered his entire family, and the family next door, and several others. By the time I found him again, he had killed himself, robbing me of the chance to pass him off to face his eternal judgment. Never again. I must warn you, my advice may not be palatable. As long as you consider it, then my time is not wasted. If you are given the choice between bringing your targets in alive or dead, always choose dead. Criminal fugitives must be brought to justice, and the only way to truly serve that justice is to end their lives so that they can be judged fairly in the afterlife. Correct. A criminal fugitive is already trying to run from justice. They will do it again, if given the chance. It is in their nature. Would you allow even a slim chance that they escape again? Even if they turn from their criminal path, would you deny their victims true justice? That is true, and yet, the thought that they would go unjudged for so long would eat away at me. But I realize that may not be your belief, so I will not try to convince you any further. May the shadows guide your path. Yes, that was likely me.
Well, could you not? Tired of cleaning up after you.
You're really making a name for
look
yourself,
at you now.
I see.
Not a speck of blood on you. You clearly know how to clean up after yourself.
For you, I will try to be more careful, but I make no promises.
Well, maybe I don't make any promises to give you a clean glass to drink out of. How's that for you? You're always welcome to relax here, between jobs. Well, you're a new face. Ain't every day we get fresh meat for the grinder. What do we call you, Tracker? Raven, huh? Where have I heard that before? There's like some old 500-year-old story or something, right? Supposed to be spooky. Cool. Well, what can I get for you, Raven? Oh, where are my manners? They call me Two-Shot, or even Touche for short. Used to be a tracker in the field like you. But I traded in gunslinging for slinging drinks. I sell drinks to wet your whistle and other provisions you may need out there. So what'll it be? Funny you ask. Most trackers choose their call signs. So did I. Used to be called Solar Flare. But enough people started calling me Two-Shot that it stuck. When I was out there, it never took me more than 2 shots from my firearms to bag my target. Thought I would have given it up once I retired from tracking to have a kid. I pour such strong drinks that now they say it doesn't take any more than 2 shots to down a tracker. So, it's stuck. I'm just happy they decided to keep me on the payroll. You know it, Sunshine. Who do you want to know about? Oh, he isn't exactly the conversational type. Seems to enjoy the company of others, but not talking to them or interacting with anyone in any meaningful way. We just leave him alone and let him do his thing. He doesn't bother us, and we don't bother him. Other than that, I don't know much about him. Seems to be a good tracker, though. He's a big teddy bear. Such a departure from the norm around here. Oh, I also know he's run the Red Mile under his tracker call sign, which may get him into trouble with someone someday, but it's his decision. He talks a big game, even has the skills and stats to back it up. But you probably also know as well as I do that he is fiercely competitive. You can either play into it or ignore it. He's not that bad once you get to know him. You ever wonder why he's called Roach, huh? It's because he seems to be unkillable. Not literally, of course, but he's managed to get himself out of some extremely sticky situations unscathed. Oh, she's been doing this longer than anyone, I think. She's old, but don't count her out just yet. Rumor is she was next in line for Agent No One, but turned it down after the last one was killed. She even brought the killer to justice. Word is, she just liked fugitive recovery a lot more. Or didn't want the responsibility. I lean more towards the latter. It makes more sense considering she's an agent now. Anyway, they used to say that the longer she bides her time, the more a fugitive has to fear. There's no story there. That's kind of the point with any Agent No One. You gotta give up your identity completely when you become leader of the trackers. That job comes with a giant target on your back. So, the less people know, the better. Agent No One is like a closed book. If that book were also glued, clamped, chained, and buried underneath an active volcano on the most distant moon of the most distant planet of the furthest star system. Other than his obsession with death, I don't know much about him. He doesn't exactly open up to others. Everyone says he must have seen or done some pretty terrible things. I don't have anything to go on but that. You know, it takes a lot to make me uncomfortable, and even though he's never done anyone here any harm, or even so much as let anyone down, he still gives me the creeps. Stay safe. I can't serve the dead.
Well, if it ain't, now what call sign did you take again? Raven. Classic. Dark and brooding, perhaps. Fan of classic poetry. Either way, ain't nothing wrong with that. Well, I can see why you'd take that name. You got my seal of approval. Not that you need it. Name's Bloodhound. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Sure, I don't mind sharing a little about myself, but, not too much. I'm no Agent Number 1, but I'm still a tracker. Been a tracker for over 30 years. Before that, I was what you might call a freebooter. I won't tell you what I did, but sure as hell wasn't above board. Well, suffice to say, that life can weigh on your soul. After a few close calls and some introspection, I came to the idea that I could do some good instead. Of course, it's hard to translate those kind of skills to the workforce, so here I am. I always saw to it to bring in my targets alive, in case they have any similar revelations. Yep, every single time. It ain't too hard when you've lived my life and seen the things I've seen. Folks deserve a second, third, even fourth chance. I'm living proof of that. Tell me, let's say someone puts a bounty on your head that you rightfully didn't deserve, or maybe you slipped up and had a bad day. You think it's right that they get to play executioner? See? You get it. And that's where I stand. I'm hired to bring them in, not decide their fate. Anyway, you're gonna do you, and I won't judge. But don't come crying to me if you can't reckon with your own demons. Sure, I'm a veritable wealth of information. Anything particular on your mind? Now that's a tough one. Depends on the situation. If you can't convince them with words, you may have to rough them up and put the fear of God in them. I suggest you learn as much as you can about human anatomy and physiology. It ain't pretty, but there are many things you can do to a body that ain't lethal, but may cause someone to wish they were. Personally, I prefer the diplomatic approach. Just because we're all certified badasses who could easily lay out the toughest spacer punk doesn't mean you're not human. If you ask me, words are a tracker's most effective tool. You'd be surprised how far a little sympathy can take you sometimes. And failing that, most targets are cowards. They don't want to die. Exploit that fact when you can. Well, it ain't what I'd call hot tips, but they serve me well. Eat right, stay hydrated, exercise, you know, just stay healthy. Don't hunt if you're sick. Last thing you want is an errant cough or sneeze to give you away when you're trying to use the element of surprise. You got it, Chief. Loads. But let me tell you just one. So, I'm down at some ass-backwards moon outpost out in the boonies. Got this old feller in my sights who's wanted for thieving from Ryujin and the other big corpos. Now, he don't know I ain't gonna shoot him, but he's itching to do something stupid. Then his kids come out, and his grandkids form a circle around him. Turns out, he's stealing so they can all just have a life. I get it. So I let him go. Far as the corpos know, he's dead. Yep, I got cussed out pretty good. But sometimes, it's worth it to do some good in the verse. Good luck out there. I'm good, Touche. Hey, how's the kiddo, by the way?
She's doing great. She just lost another baby tooth. She's really starting to read, too. Her dad's teaching her.
How about that? I remember when she was yay high and could barely speak. Oh, bless your heart. You must be proud.
She's the light of my life. You know, she's why I'm not out there anymore. Can't put her at risk, you know? I'll just, have to live vicariously through the trackers that stole through here.
I hear that. Well, you know, anyone stupid enough to go after your girl would see us rain fire down on them faster and more ruthless than the wrath of hell itself.
I know. All the same, it was time to get out anyway. Thanks, though.
What's the word, Raven? Need some new equipment? How about that? We got a new tracker in the building. Name's Stash, and I'm more than just a pretty face. You ever need my help, you can step right over here to my little corner and we can talk shop. Whether it's for business or pleasure, that's up to you. No, and yes. No, it's Stash, like my mustache. Yes, it's kind of on the nose, like my mustache. Well, under it, but you get the idea. But yeah, it does work out like that, doesn't it? You're not the first to suggest it, and I doubt you'll be the last. And before you ask, no, I didn't grow the stash because I got a stash of goods or vice versa. Sometimes nicknames just stick. I tinker. I make, modify, and refurbish weapons and other equipment. For trackers only. But I don't do it for free, and I don't do it for credits either. I only take Astras. And you get whatever I give you. No questions, no special requests, no refunds. Guns, melee weapons, lethal, non-lethal, suits, you name it. All with my own modifications. I was hoping you'd ask. Back during the Narian War, there was some serious concern that the banks were going to fail. So some enterprising individuals took matters into their own hands and started minting their own currency, Astras, just in case the worst came to pass. Anyway, Astras are rare, but they're out there, still used in some black market circles since they're untraceable by any government. Good, and we're on the same page. Matter of fact, I do. But the most interesting ones aren't from my tracker field work. Instead, I'm gonna take you back in time to my youth. See, I was a scrappy little neon street rat. I tinkered, built homemade weapons, and armor made out of scraps I came across. You can imagine who might buy that sort of thing. That's right. Gangbangers and other lowlives. I saw what they used these weapons for. But I had to make money. And it kept me safe from the gangs because they needed me. Well, I never did care much for those gangs, the way they preyed on folks weaker than them. So, when I found out about the trackers, I decided on a career change. Turns out I wasn't much for following rules. They said I was a bit of a loose cannon. But they liked my equipment, so here I am, peddling wares for other trackers. Well, when you grow up on the neon streets, you learn to fly by the seat of your pants. That doesn't always jive with protocol, even by tracker standards. Too much collateral damage. Don't worry, no one died. But let's just say I may have temporarily increased the homeless population. Anyway, I like what I do now. I'm putting my technical skills to use in a way that Trackers Alliance appreciates. Well, I don't miss it, that's for sure. Good to be where I am today. I'm working on getting some new stock, so check back again later.
Feel fancy a drink, Raven? Or just come to bend my ear? You know it, son.
If you're here to convince me not to kill again...
He fancies himself a charmer, let me tell you. Could talk a heat leech out of an overworked engine compartment. Don't tell him I told you, but he's a bit of a tracker fanboy. Never could quite hack it himself, but that's why he's still here. I bet he could talk your ear off about tracker history and stuff. Lord knows my ears feel a little looser after talking with him. Bloodhound's one of the old-timers. He's good people, but I hear that wasn't always the case. I can't say for sure, but based on some of the stories he used to tell, I think he was ex-Fleet. As in the Crimson Fleet. Quite a turn to go from an outlaw to someone who chases outlaws. But the skills transfer pretty well, I imagine.
Yeah, we...
Leave no quarter, show no mercy out there.
Agent Kolyos, at your service. What do you request of me? Serious inquiries only. No, it is a pseudo-acronym meant to emphasize my station as hardware and software. My programmer thought it would be clever, but clearly it goes over most heads. Kolyos was a Greek Titan god, born of Uranus and Gaia. He was known as a Titan of knowledge and queries. But I wouldn't expect you to know that. Mostly stand around waiting for someone to interact with me. I am connected to the tracker database, so when a tracker either has or needs information about a certain target, they come to me. My directive is to assist trackers with any queries they have, and if desired, give advice based on the information we have compiled. Leave no quarter, show no mercy.